Sales of the iPad as well as the iPhone, but it does still represent the first quarterly drop in profit since 2003. Now, many say it's the death of Steve Jobs 2 years ago and his replacement by the new chief executive Tim Cook that led to Apple losing some of its shine. Let's speak to Ed Oswald. Ed is a technology writer for Laptop Magazine. He's joining us out of Philadelphia. Ed, it's good to have you with us on Al Jazeera. So just give me your take on the numbers, first of all.
Well, basically what we saw was that we're surprised to see the revenues stay up. Actually, people were expecting to either be flat or decrease. Where we had a concern was the fact that the profits went down, and that's a lot of that has to do with what Apple is selling at this time.
So is the profit going down then the headline for you? Or let's not forget, of course, Apple announcing that it's going to return an additional $55 billion in cash to its shareholders. What does that signal to you?
Well, that signals to me when Steve Jobs was CEO, he did not believe in dividends to the shareholders, which Wall Street really did not like. Tim Cook, when he came in 2 years ago, implemented a plan of dividends. And this, I think, is more indicative of the massive cash reserves that Apple has. Apple has over $150 billion as of the end of last quarter in cash alone. So what they're trying to do here is basically have a give some of that back to the shareholders, which is what the shareholders have been asking.
And speaking of shareholders and investors as well, they've been concerned recently over the lack of new product launches at Apple. What do you think is going on with the product roadmap?
Well, I think Steve Jobs' death may have had something to do with it. The company did have a plan before Steve Jobs died to keep Apple going, but I think it kind of slowed down the process. But Apple, what people seem to not understand, I think what Wall Street misses, is that Apple likes to let their products mature. So they won't release a new phone every 2 to 3 months, as some other companies say. LG, Samsung has a new phone almost every month. Apple focuses on one product, and it matures that product, and it rather better that product rather than making several different models. We are seeing that now. That's a response to the way the market is. But I think that investors need to understand that Apple has a different way of doing business than other technology companies do.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. All right, Ed, but is there anything Apple is not doing that they should be doing for the future? What's your outlook?
I think what Apple is really missing is in the television industry. We keep hearing rumors of an iTV, but they don't seem to have made any solid movements towards that. I think that when they brought out the Apple TV, it was Steve Jobs said it himself. So said Tim Cook. He both said this is a hobby. I think it needs to be a bigger part of their business. Streaming media, they are now sold over 25 billion tracks in iTunes as of this quarter. It's amazing. There is so much opportunity in media more than their hardware business. And I think that might also be part of the reason why Wall Street is so jittery about the company. I mean, it has lost 40% of its value since its September highs, but I think they're looking at it as a hardware company. That is the old Apple. The new Apple is hardware, software, services. They're trying to do everything. Are they spreading themselves a little bit thin? That's a good question, and I don't really know the answer to that. I think time will tell.
Okay, Ed, thank you. That's Ed Oswald talking to us from the United States. Thank you. Well, the FBI is investigating